This should not hurt Baker Mayfield's draft stock. Baker Mayfield's exactly what we knew he always was. He makes really great, amazing plays on the football field. He's got spunk. He's a good leader. And he makes every once in a while questionable decisions out of emotion. Yeah, I was going to argue for Baker Mayfield this. I was going to say, it's the heat of the moment. In the heat of the moment, he got emotional. Let's give him a pass. That's a bad theory, because if I argued that Tom Brady says, "Let's go," he gets all fired up and makes all these faces and gets pumped up, and maybe that's what Baker Mayfield is doing. Is there an equivalent to that? If Baker Mayfield said "Let's go" instead of the F-bomb and grabbed his crotch, would we do the same thing? What was worse, the F-bomb or the crotch? It's all a problem. He is an emotional warrior, but the problem is the heat of the moment argument doesn't work. Yeah, in college football, there's a different level of sportsmanship. So this is bad sportsmanship in college football. In the NFL, he would just get fined. He wouldn't be sitting out at the beginning of next week's game. But in the NFL, it's different, right? It's a different game. So this shouldn't affect his draft stock. But is what he did acceptable? No. What Baker Mayfield did on the sideline last week against Kansas is unacceptable. He lost control of himself. He lost composure. Baker Mayfield lost his composure and lost control of his actions. And that is a big concern. That is a worry. We see Jameis Winston make mistakes. We don't like that. We see Cam Newton lose composure. We don't like that either. Again, I was going to defend Baker Mayfield. I was going to say, look, it's the heat of the moment. He lost control of himself. And I was going to argue, look at the Utah-UW game this weekend. Utah's kicker had a huge run for a first down. On fourth down, the kicker ran for a first down. And he gets up, and as he's rolling over onto the ground, he spikes the ball. And then I got a flag, and I was all mad. I was like, look, heat of the moment. The guy is excited. We shouldn't penalize him for that. But here's the truth. Roger pointed this out to me in our conversation. He said, the heat of the moment argument is a terrible argument. Because what if in the heat of the moment, the emotion gets to you and you hit your girlfriend? Is that acceptable? No, that's not acceptable. That's never acceptable. And what if in the heat of the moment, you get angry road rage and you drive into the back of another car and you hit another car? Is that acceptable? No, it's no good. You can't lose your temper and lose your control of your emotions in the heat of the moment. So that'll never be okay. It's never going to be acceptable. Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. Would any of those guys lose their composure in a situation like that? No, they would not. You cannot have that as your quarterback. So Baker Mayfield, I understand why he did what he did. He's a tough, angry, but he's an emotional competitor. That's who he is. He's like Braveheart. You want to follow Baker Mayfield into battle, but it does raise some concerns, and what he did was wrong. So I don't love what he did. I don't like him being suspended. I think it's a PR move. I'm all for freedom of expression, but again, you can't do what Baker Mayfield did. You can't lose your composure in a situation like that, and that is what Baker Mayfield did. You cannot have a quarterback who loses composure when he gets emotional. That's a worry from what Baker Mayfield did.